Alright guys, we are live. I am so freaking tired. I didn't sleep last night. I truly believed... My phone is just going mental right now. Go away, people. I truly believed that this was going to be the end of the streak. I didn't think I could do it, and I don't think it's going to be a long stream, but we are live somehow. But yeah, I didn't think I'd be going live. I don't know, when you don't sleep at all, when you have zero, absolutely nada sleep, it messes with your head a little bit, you know? It's kind of trippy, it's weird. You know? And, yeah, as I was saying, I wasn't expecting to go live today. And I've just been like, until about 10 AM, I was just riding this like wired ADHD feeling I had, which is why I couldn't sleep. And then it was 10 AM, right? So I needed to take my morning meds, which include powerful stimulants for ADHD. So I've just been unable to sleep, despite my best effort. I'm going to turn that fan off because it's bothering me. I've got quite a bit done in the last 24 hours at least. I'm not gonna lie, I got quite a bit done. How are you doing? How's things? How's life, Minty Bickle Chips? Tell me all about it. How are you doing, NBC? Doing okay, thanks. Bamboozled your father-in-law yesterday by detecting black pepper where you thought there wasn't any. That's fair. Tired. Exhausted. Burnt out. I've done way too much in the last 24 hours, but I just needed to stay busy. I just could not be busy, you know? I was planning to just hit Skylines today, and I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with that right now, which is really frustrating to me, because I like City Skylines, you know? I like City Skylines, it's a good game. And I'm too warm with the fan off. I'm too cold with the fan on. I'm just very, very uncomfortable right now. I have recorded 14 TikToks today. Not all of them been released today. That would be excessive. I'm actually I've actually decided I'm not going to be on camera today. I'm not feeling being on camera. I'm yawning a lot and I'm just you know. Hello, dog. Attempting to assume a comfortable position right now. But we are doing okay, all things considered. I have no idea how long this stream's gonna be. I have no idea what we're gonna do. Ugh. What have you been up to today, Mrs. Biffle Chips? What have you been doing? Ugh. I'm just waiting to hear off what Mr. Biffle Chips have been up to today. I've been actually really busy today. My problem is I've just used all of my spoons. And I used all of my spoons yesterday and I didn't sleep, so I didn't get a reset. And then I used a bunch of spoons that I didn't have. And now I have no spoons. You know? Putting together that tail cut pattern. Nice, nice. Mr. Northern Light, thank you for that tab, my friend. Thank you for that tab, my friend. That's his way of saying he's lurking, by the way, Mr. Biffle Chips. I don't know if he's reading chat, but it usually means he can't hear me. Yeah, it seems the term on Kick is more tab than lurk, but as more people coming over from Twitch, it's kind of going 50-50. I can't bother that much. Most people who regularly tab have some kind of tab demote like that one. I use the same one as Mr. Northern Light. GM streams 92. I'm very sorry I'm not on camera. I am so tired. What do I call you, man? What do I call you? What's your name? GM or... Stream's going pretty well. I feel like trash. I didn't sleep last night at all. And then I had that appointment today and I've not stopped. I will stick with GM because that's what I really remember. I'll be fine after I've had a sleep. Or at least as fine as I get. You know, I'm not too bad at the moment. This is going to be a short stream. I usually go live at like 3 PM. It's, you know, I went live at 5 PM. So I don't know how long the stream's going to be. But I go live every single day. 7 days a week without fail. We've done 406 days in a row without a break so far. 406 is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought I'd make it to like 3 months. I never thought I'd even make it to 3 months, and now here we are, you know, a pretty decent amount over a year. And it doesn't appear that it's stopping yet. Does not appear like it's stopping yet. Alright. I'm gonna be on... fuck it, let's go on cam. I'm like my own worst enemy, okay? I'm like my own worst enemy. I'm like, I'm not gonna go on cam today because I'm feeling kind of trash. And then some people turn up and I'm like, fuck it, let's go on cam. Keep grinding, exactly. The grind never ends, my friend. I recorded a bunch of TikTok bullshit today. Oh, last night. And today. I don't know how to consider a day when I've not slept. It's confusing. So I'm going to be dumping a bunch of crap on TikTok. Just random thoughts. And things. No scripted content. I thank you, I appreciate that. I don't often feel like I'm doing great. So yeah, this is RuneScape, and you may notice I'm playing 3 accounts of RuneScape at the same time. We've got 2 on the left, and then the main taking up most of the, Honestly, like, I have a pretty good community anyway, so... we're gonna take off my headphones for a hot minute. The transition from Twitch to Kick, I has not been without difficulty. Right? The transition has not been without difficulty. I'm not going to lie. But I am apprehensively hopeful. You know, I've got over 1,000 followers on Twitch. I was getting subs on Twitch and things. I don't really get subs over here. I've got like 2 so far. I don't care about the money. You don't need to sub. You know, subbing's not a requirement. I'm bothered about people chatting. And RuneScape has a very small following on Kick, and it seems people follow creators more than they do categories on Kick, right? So that kind of, at least in my area of Kick in MMOs, so that limits you a little bit on discoverability, because if you are live and a bunch of other people are live, you know, I'm not good at clickbait. Although, oh, I've got to tell the story now. Mrs. Bifflechip, I don't know if you've watched the TikTok, but if you haven't, story time, guys. Right, so, yesterday's stream, I was trying to be particularly excited about buying a YouTube channel. No worries, enjoy. I was particularly excited about buying a YouTube channel. That excitement wasn't true. So, the guy who I was quote-unquote buying the YouTube channel from, was in my stream. But I've been planning this for a while with Red. And the aim of it was to get scammed, which sounds really strange, right? I had lots of safeguards in place. I used a third-party payment provider. I charged back those payments, so I've not really lost much money. I lost some fees and things like that. But generally speaking, I didn't lose that much money in the end. The chargebacks worked. Another question. The question that is on everybody's mind is, why the fuck would you get yourself scammed? Right? And the answer is content. My best performing blog post in a long time was me talking about being scammed. And I thought, what is better content than getting scammed? And my answer to that was getting scammed on purpose. You know, so I put money aside every month. And that money is reserved for content creation, right? So that might be like, I bought a bunch of pickles lately because I want to make videos of me eating pickles. Why? I still don't know, right? I still don't know, but I love pickles, and I want to eat pickles on camera and say I'm eating pickles to earn money or some shit. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so I bought pickles, you know, and I buy equipment. I bought... Can I find it? I bought this thing, which is a microphone. You put your phone in there. This is an additional extra that I added. Ignore this bit. And it's a little tripod, you know, a little tripod, or you can hold it. Your phone's in there, and you know, you got a microphone pointing at you. It came with a light, although I don't need the light, it's bright and stuff in here. And then point at itself and record TikToks and shit. Right, so I bought that with that money, and a lot of my content creation stuff has come out of that type of funding. And I've not bought a lot recently, so I had an amount of money on hand that I could burn. Like, and it was a gamble. I'm not going to lie. It was a gamble because I really didn't want to buy the channel, right? Because if I would have bought a channel, if I actually somehow managed to accidentally buy a channel while I was trying to get scammed, I would have had no fucking clue. I would have had no fucking clue what to do with that channel, right? It's in Hindi, for Christ's sake. But because I spent money on it and I acquired it, I would have felt the need to produce content for it. And I wouldn't have produced English content for it because, one, I don't have the time. I just don't have that spare time to produce content for another channel just yet. And two, all of the subscribers theoretically subscribe for Hindi content. Now, a lot of Hindi speakers also speak English to some degree. It's very common in that part of the world because they work in service industry quite a lot of the time, doing like, you know, telephone calls for companies, customer support. So it may have worked out. It may have worked out. But realistically speaking, I would have been paying yet another employee to run that channel for me in hopes that it would grow and make money. I don't really have spare funds to do that, and I don't have spare time to make content for it. So if I would have bought that YouTube channel, I would have been making a rod for my own back. The price was very low, which is what indicated to me it was a scam. A YouTube channel of that size, that's monetized, has active viewership and things, you would probably be looking around the $1,000 mark. Right? You would probably be looking about $1,000. From what I've researched. Because this isn't something that I just went and did for the fucking lols. I've researched this extensively. Me and Red has talked about it on call. You know? Like, the plan was always to get scammed. I've got screenshots of, like, the guy deleted all his messages, and it's hilarious because I was screenshotting everything all the way through. Because the plan was to get scammed. And I knew he was going to cut and run. I knew he was going to block me on everything, delete all the messages. Bad news for him. I knew that was going to happen. I screenshotted everything. So that's fun. I've got his bank details. I've got a copy of his government issue ID. It's going to be really fun when I make this video eventually. But yeah, you can buy YouTube channels. There are entire people whose profession it is to acquire YouTube channels and sell them on to people who want a YouTube channel in that field, doing that subject, with that number of subscribers. Like, it's a pretty bespoke service and it's expensive, right? And it's expensive for a number of reasons. One, people understand the amount of work it goes into to get a channel to the point where it's monetized. To get a channel to the point where it's got nearly 30,000 subscribers, is monetized, has no copyright strikes, that's a premium channel, right? That's a top of the range. Like, most channels you see that are being sold is they'll hit monetization and the slog to monetization is so long, right? You know, I don't know what the exact is, but it's like 1,000 hours watched and 3,000 subscribers or something. The slog to get to that point is so long. And you might hit 1 or 2 viral videos and you hit it, and then you notice you make like $8 because, you know, advertisements are in the toilet right now. And a lot of people just go, fuck it, I've put all this time and effort in, it's not making me money, I'm just going to sell the channel and be done with it. So there is a ready supply of channels and there is a ready supply of buyers. Right? So you need somebody in the middle. Because, like, nobody trusts anybody, right? And that's the correct way to be, right? Nobody trusts anybody. And generally speaking, if you want to buy a YouTube channel, you can talk to people in the community and you can find a reputable channel broker. This exists. There's a whole industry, right? I purposely didn't do that, you know? I did talk to some channel brokers and explain to them what I was doing. They all thought I was fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. They all thought I was absolutely mental. And I mean, so do I, to be honest. But you know, I talked to them the ins and outs of the industry. A lot of them don't want, well, actually all of them don't want to be in the video because it's a boys club, right? Like, a lot of the legit channel brokers in some way connected to illegitimate channel brokers, because the way how it works a lot of the time is an illegitimate channel broker will either have hacked accounts or they will have accounts what they just farm content to. They post like the same content to hundreds of channels, and those channels grow independently, and you know, and then they will use them for scamming for a while. But the problem is you can't maintain viewership numbers, and that's what you buy a channel for, right? You buy a channel that has got active viewership, because subscribers mean nothing. And that sounds really mad to say, but you could have 1 million subscribers. You could have 1 million subscribers, but if nobody's watching the videos, it means nothing. Right? They could be botted subscribers, they could be subscribers from a channel before it rebranded and then they're not interested in new content. There's lots of reasons why a high subscriber count is not exactly. There's a lot of reasons why a high subscriber count is not an indicating factor of a good channel. But if you've got consistent viewership, yeah. Now the problem is the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you posting the same content to lots of channels, and it catches up pretty quickly. So you can only keep these channels active for so long. So what the legitimate guys do is they basically, is what happened to me. They'll advertise on Facebook groups, Discord servers, selling this channel, and they'll either just fully admit they're a channel broker, or they'll say, oh, I built this channel from the ground up and I worked so hard on it, and you know, I'm in desperate need of cash and it breaks my heart to sell it, but you know, my grandmother or my mother or my cat has fallen ill or whatever, and we just desperately need this cash right now, which is why it's so cheap. That kind of bullshit, right? This guy fully admitted he was a channel broker. I knew it wasn't legitimate because, one, his price was way too low. His price was a tenth at best of what he could be asking. He could have even asked for more because the viewership numbers were good. One video in particular was definitely view botted, but all the other videos were still getting pretty decent traction. They were getting like, the channel was getting like 40,000 views a day, and from what I could tell, about half of that was botted views. And they do this because, you know, they don't care. It's not their channel. It's hacked, it's bought for cheap, it's stolen, whatever reason. But eventually those channels wither. So then they'll, you know, sell it onto a channel broker, a legitimate one. And that channel broker will, you know, promote that channel. They might even create content for that channel. You know, they will bring the channel back to life, and then they will sell it. So there is some questionable actions in that area, and you have to be very careful. Now, I was purposely not being very careful. I was being careful in the exact scammer that I selected. He wasn't the first scammer that I talked to, but he was the first scammer that put effort in. He had a conversation with me. He watched my stream. He didn't talk in the stream, but he sent me a screenshot of him watching the stream. And he's like, oh yeah, you'll make a good YouTuber and all of that. Carefully, uncarefully, exactly. You know? When I paid him, I used an intermediary that hides my details, all of that goodness. Yeah, and I was correct that it was a scam. Because, like, if that wasn't a scam, that guy was an idiot. Right? That's just the truth. So, it was... And I'm trying not to generalize, and I don't know if I will be over... Well, I mean, I'm going to have to be in the video. But it came from a part of the world that is well known for harboring scammers. Right? I'm not being racist, I'm not There are lots of legitimate people in this part of the world. I'm being very vague, so you guys go and actually watch the YouTube video when I finally make it. There are lots of legitimate people, hundreds of millions of legitimate people, probably a billion, whatever, I don't freaking know. People, you know, in this part of the world. But there are a much higher number of unscrupulous people, that's the word I would go with, who, you know, acquire money by questionable, nefarious means. Which is another reason why I picked him, right? Because, like, you pick somebody who is American, or you pick somebody, you know, who is European, the laws are so strict in those countries that it's not worth the risk for that small reward. But yeah, so it was really interesting insight into the industry. I'm not saying I would never buy a YouTube channel, but I certainly wouldn't buy it in that way. You know, I wouldn't find somebody on some random Facebook group who's selling a particularly good channel for a particularly low price and think this seems like a legitimate deal. As I said on the TikTok, if it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Right? And this was definitely too good to be true. Which is why I picked it. And it did. It took me like 2.5, 3 weeks of searching for some, like, because there are a lot of legitimate channel brokers who will go to large communities like Discord servers, Facebook groups, and they'll, you know, say, look, I've got a number of channels for sale, but they've got a backstory, right? A true backstory. They'll say, you know, this person, and you can check it because you can go and watch the videos and it'll be the right person, it'll all line up. And they'll be like, you know, this person fell ill, or they fell out of the fashion with it, or some of them are just honest and they said, you know, they grew the channel and they're just done with it. They just want to catch out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know? It's like investing in the business. Eventually you want your money, right? So yeah, it was very interesting, and I think I'm glad that I did it, and I'm hoping the video will help other people not do it. Because it's very tempting. You know, if you've been grinding away at YouTube, and, you know, I've been grinding away at content creation for well over half a decade at this point, and if we're including written content, we are talking over a decade. Because, like, I've got 9 years on and off of blog posts on my public blogs, and then my old blogs, which I do not share because they include people's names, locations, things like that. Things that I don't like to share anymore. You know, I have got years of content from that, from like when I was in school and I wrote blogs as a way of like venting my emotions and things. So yeah. You know, I've been making content creation. I do understand how some people, you know, will go, maybe I should just buy a channel. If you've got spare cash, you know, and you've seen it as a business investment, I completely understand why some people do it. And like, which is why I said I'm not saying I would never do it. Exactly. You have handover. You know, they talk about the type of content they are, the type, usually they'll tell you like, you know, average of how many viewers are subscribed and how they interact, and you'll get details like that, what this guy didn't give. And this guy was just very cagey, and I thought it was his lack of English at first. But like I said, Z talked to him in the native language, and it was the same with Z. And Z's, I didn't tell Z what I was doing, right? Because my problem is, I don't know how good of an actor Z is. Because he's never acted for me, right? So I don't know how good an actor is. So I was like, I'm just gonna like bring Z into it and not tell him that it's a setup. And Z's like, maybe we shouldn't do this, it seems a little bit dodgy. And I'm like, nah, be fine, just take the gamble. And it was a gamble, because there was a very, very small chance that I was buying a YouTube channel. And like I already said once, if I did buy that YouTube channel in particular, I have no fucking clue what I would have done with it. But yeah, so that's kind of... I just wanted to be very, very clear. I did get scammed, but I got scammed on purpose. And I did get most of my money back. So... go me? Has failed successfully, you know? So now I've got to take all the screenshots, all of my thoughts and feelings about it, somehow get it into a script, somehow find somewhere to record said video, work out how the fuck I'm gonna edit it, and then put it all together, make the video, release it, and hopefully it gets traction. The TikTok did really well. I'm not gonna lie. The TikTok did really well. And I mean, I did kind of clickbait with the TikTok, and I'll probably clickbait with the YouTube video because I am down some amount of money for this. You know, fees for international payments are expensive, and when you are cancelling it, you don't get the fees back, generally speaking. So, you know, it's not free. There is a cost associated with this. And I mean, we gained like 7 TikTok followers from that one video, and I made a follow-up, and like, people didn't seem to understand, so I'm going to make another TikTok about it. People didn't seem to understand that I did it on purpose, even though in the TikTok I explained that I did it on purpose. People listened, it seemed like people listened to the first maybe 20 or 30 seconds, and then didn't listen to the rest and commented the comments that I had. So I replied to them and said, no, this was the intended outcome. The plan is to make content about this so other people don't do it. Because, like, for me, the gamble was... well, there was 2 gambles, right? So gamble number 1 was I was getting scammed and not buying a channel. Right? Because there was a very small chance that this guy just didn't know the value of the channel he was selling. So there was a very small chance that I was actually going to buy a YouTube channel, which is what I didn't want to happen. There was a much, much, much greater chance that I was being scammed, which was what I wanted to happen. But I didn't know if I would get that money back. So, like, in my head, I was prepared for that money just to be gone, right? I set myself, how much do I want to spend on this video? And I don't think I will ever make profit on that money that I did end up losing. I don't think, but the message, you know, the reason why I created it was to help other people not get scammed. Because there are people out there, you know, who will bet their last dollar on something like this, so to speak. There are people out there who can't afford to gamble on it, and they'll think they're buying a prosperous future for themselves when they are in fact not. Right? And my aim is to try and reach those people and to be like, guys, this is what not to do. You know? Don't reply to some randomer on a Facebook group. Don't offer them money without them giving you access to the account. Like, there are lots of things that I did wrong. And I did it wrong on purpose, right? Like, my due diligence, like, if I was legitimately trying to buy that YouTube channel, and for some reason that guy I thought was legitimately selling it for that, there was a lot of things that I would have done differently. You know? I would have requested editor access to the account before payment, which most brokers will let you do, so you can inspect, you know, the analytics and things yourself and keep an eye on it over a number of days. I would have definitely not sent money through the very questionable way that I did. I would make it definitely be PayPal, and anybody who's a legitimate business person is happy to use like PayPal or something similar with buyer protection, right? If you're a legitimate business, you don't mind eating a few fees. But this guy, rather unintelligently, did it through his business number on WhatsApp and has lots of personal information about himself on his Facebook profile. You know, and from what I've seen, he sent me a picture of him and government issue ID. They matched up. The pictures of him matched the YouTube thing, the Facebook profile even. So like, and the name that I sent the money to was the same. So either they're in it together, or that he legitimately sent that and then deleted them as soon as I sent the money, thinking that, well, you know, it's gone. Well, it's not gone. I screenshotted everything. Everything, every single thing. And I'm gonna reach out to a couple of, you know, those people who investigate scammers on YouTube, and I'll be like, yo, so I got myself scammed on purpose, and they'll be like, what the fuck, bro? And then I'll be like, yeah, but this is why I did it. And maybe we could work together. Because I got a lot of details. I've got a lot of details about this person, you know? And this guy has legitimately tracked down scammers in this country before. Really? Great. That was a legitimate, full-on, 100% disconnect. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't know. I don't know if you can hear the noises that Bonnie makes, but she doesn't meow like that. Don't you not, missus? You gonna make your noise? Nah, she's like, I'm off, I'm not some dancing monkey. Oh, she's back. If you're coming up, come up. Come on. You're so lazy, I'm not picking you up. You couldn't hear them, no. Right. She's like, let me up, human. I'm like, come up. She's like, no, pick me up. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to for the last, like, 3 weeks. Matt, it was so hard to actually get scammed, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, to get scammed safely, I should say. It's about finding somebody who, you know, will give me enough information about them where it makes an interesting YouTube video. Because, like, a lot of people are, like, send money to, you know, this wire office here, and I'll pick it up and then give you it. And like, you get no information, you know? You get nothing. You get a location which they may or may not live in. And the name on a wire doesn't have to, like match their real name, as long as they know the name and password. So like, getting scammed is easy, but getting safely scammed is not. No worries, Mr. Biffle Chips, no worries. Oh. I've got that annoying itchy eyes when you're tired. I'm gonna turn off camera now. Ugh. Now it's just you and me, Mrs. Biffle Chips. Along the pain things, I may email the button store and ask for ETA status about why buttons haven't shipped. Sounds like a good idea. Don't get scammed. I find it hilarious that there is a button store. Like, please tell me they sell other items as well. Because if all they sell is button, that's interesting. You know, if the only thing they sell is buttons, that's like, what the hell? I'm presuming they sell buttons plus other crafting supplies. But hey, maybe they sell just buttons, who knows? You're saying I will have a look. Well, I say I'll have a look later, I'll probably forget because I am so ridiculously tired. And then I'll notice it in 3 days and go, shit, I didn't look at that thing. I know myself so well. Mm. I need the bathroom, so give me a hot moment, guys. Hi there, Steph. Sorry, I was just on break. Sorry, I was just on break. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Steph. Thank you. How has your day been today? It's been a horrible weekend. I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like to talk about it? Although, I'm really tired, guys. I'm probably gonna do 1.5 today. But yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that you've had a hard day. I'm vibing to my music right now, guys. I'm just vibing to my music. You don't believe it's Monday again? That's how time works, unfortunately. Thank you for the look, Mrs. Biffle Chips. What have you been up to this weekend, Steph? What have you been doing? I've seen you've been seeing your brother, then you say your mum started Saturday night and Sunday night, and then you've been at work. I see. Busy weekend then, busy weekend. No place like home. Definitely true. Definitely true. I'm really tired today, Steph. I am sorry I'm not being the best host. You'll have to forgive me, I'm very tired today. Ugh. It's hard to talk when no one's talking to you guys, I'm not gonna lie. Talk to me, Steph. Talk to me. Ugh. It's not nice to be on edge all the time. It certainly is not. It certainly is not. But yeah, it's certainly not nice at all, like, it's an awful feeling. Miss Northern Light got that tab open. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm trying to work out what do I want to do right now. Alright guys, I'm gonna host that. I need to lie down. I need to lie down. I'm very sorry guys. Look after yourselves. Thank you so much for hanging out. Very much appreciated. Last but not least, as always, it's cheerio.